Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to do a get ready with me and just see how you're doing and just chat about a few new things that I picked up. So thank you so much for watching today and thank you for being subscribed. One of the first things I want to do is I wanted to throw this on. This is from Beauty Pie. This is their Wonder Gloss Collagen Lip Oil, just because I need something on my lips. They are so dry. I do have another one of these. You can see it's more than half gone. That one is in the shade Jammy. This one here is in Spicy Pink. Does that look pink to you? It looks more apricot-y, peachy to me, but that's okay. Oh, I just lotioned my hands. I'm struggling. My lips have been revolting. I don't know, like they're just like, we're so dry. So I thought a little bit of this while I put the rest of my face on might be helpful. If you like a really nice lightweight gloss, this is great, but it smells really sweet and delicious. I just got my Beauty Pie order and there's a couple other things in here, but I knew I liked this formula because I already had, you know, a nearly finished tube of this. So I knew I wanted to try a different color, but it looks good even on its own. I was running errands a little bit earlier today and I do have a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish underneath my eyes. I'm gonna throw on some of this. Now I'm getting close to finishing this up. Like, oh, there's so much that's gone in here. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. And this is one of those concealers that I like to use as concealer and foundation. So I'm just gonna tap this everywhere I feel like I need a little bit of coverage. Need a little bit on my nose. Have a little dark spot here and here. I hit the tops of my cheeks here. And this is only after having dipped the wand, like pulling it out once. I'm not going back for more. Yeah, I recently did a product review of the Marc Jacobs Extra Shot Caffeine Foundation Concealer. You get 1 ml more in that than you do in this. This is $30, the other one $39. I feel like this one's really great because it goes from, you can build it up and get a lot of coverage in areas and then also not go too heavy in others, and it thins out to beautiful and, you know, let's cover the spots that need it, but the places that don't have concealer on it, they look really good. I do like to use a slightly smaller one under the eyes just for kind of blending, like right out in here. I feel like if you're looking for a product that you can use for, you know, decent coverage that's buildable, that's why I like concealers all over the face. I don't use them as much as I would if I were to put foundation on. I'd put it on everywhere. But I feel like for most of my daily, I like the idea of being able to, okay, I need more coverage here. And I don't need any coverage here or here, but the places where I have redness, I have some hyperpigmentation on my chin from acne, I like to be able just to, you know, kind of blend this in where I need it and leave the rest. And I feel like this Too Faced concealer is really good at doing that for me. The weather has finally turned and it's definitely warmer. And I'm so grateful. With the weather being nice, we're spending a lot more time outside. It was in the high 50s yesterday. We've got some sun and spring can be a little hit or miss here. Sometimes we'll have snow all the way till mid-April, like up to your knees. And sometimes, you know, January, it's in the 60s and sunny. It's kind of weird where I live, which is fine. So you never really know. You really can't plan. But when the weather turns nice, everybody starts coming out. And I feel like we've all had such a difficult year. And now that the weather's beautiful, like we're all out at the park. We're all going for walks around the lake. We're all, you know, going for hikes. And I am not a hiking kind of person. I am not an outdoor kind of person. Like, I am hard pressed to plant my vegetables and weed my garden just to have homegrown veg in the summertime, because I hate being outside and I hate being in the sun and I hate being sweaty and dirty. So I am not an outdoorsy type of person, but I have become one because it gets me out. And after having spent a whole year indoors, that's what my soul is needing right now. So one of the other things I picked up from Beauty Pie is my favorite powder. This is the new one. This is the One Powder Wonder. It's so white and it looks frightening, but I love this powder. When I first got it, I wasn't sure. The one I've had for a while. You can see it has a pretty significant divot, and I'm waiting to like hit pan anytime soon. So I'm gonna close the new one. That's for when we run out so we don't have to be desperate. And the reason I wanted to get more of this, even though I'm not having hit pan yet, is it's not always in stock. Sometimes they have it and sometimes they don't. And they have two different versions of this powder. They have one that's this white, this color is Uberlecent Universal. I don't know that it's universal, but that's what they're calling it, because I'm not sure what this would look like on people who have, you know, medium to tan to deep skin tones. I just don't know that this would work. But for a fair skinned person, I love this powder. And I have been reaching for this more than so many other things in my collection. I like it a lot. So I don't want to be without. I'm just going to switch brushes here. And in not wanting to be without, I was like, it's in stock, get it. Because last time I placed a Beauty Pie order, it wasn't in stock. But this is a perpetual favorite of mine, and I like that it's really lightweight. It doesn't look too heavy. It looks really pretty, and it's very lightweight. I feel like I could just keep putting this on. Not that I want to, but that my skin would never get too heavy. So it's great at setting my under eyes, bringing a little bit of extra brightness because it is this white powder, but I am sold on this. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the Hoola Lite from Benefit, and I haven't used this brush in forever, but I wanted to see if I could get a more targeted application of bronzer just where I wanted it. I've been using a fluffier brush and it's kind of been splaying out and it's starting to get a little lower. I'm not trying to contour, but more like bronzer. Since it's been officially a year since we went into lockdown, quarantine, whatever you want to call it, pandemic hit, I have gained a lot of weight. More than 1 pound a month. The first 2 months wasn't too bad, and then it started sneaking up in the summertime. And this winter, ooh, I was making unwise choices. So I'm hoping that now that better weather is here and I'm kind of excited to get outside, that I'll, you know, while the kids are at school, take the dog for a walk and get myself out for a walk. Or when they get home from school, the weather's nicer and we, you know, time change, the days are going to be longer. Let's go for a quick bike ride before we, you know, get working on afternoon chores and start making dinner and doing homework and stuff. Just try to take advantage of being a little bit more active. And I also am a little bit concerned about the really bad example I've set, you know, this year for my kids, eating unhealthy foods in copious amounts, that it's not just been a bad habit that I'm forming, but my kids are watching me and they're doing the same thing. So I need to be better about what I bring in the house. Was talking to a friend. Let me know if you have been struggling with, you know, the types of choices you've been making because of how the world has changed. Some people have been spending more time in front of a screen. Some people have been really disconnected and they're feeling that sense of loneliness. Some people have been eating a lot. Let me know if you've been struggling with anything like that, and if you have any suggestions or how you've been handling it. I need to be better about making sure I'm not bringing things in the house that aren't smart. But there's been a lot of chocolate, there's been a lot of chips, there's been a lot of soda. And like this time last year, you would never have found those things in my house, like ever. So I don't know. I need to be better. All right, so this is a new product I picked up. This is the Beauty Pie Super Cheek Powder Blush, and this is in the shade Fever Peach. I thought this looked really pretty. It's a slightly luminous blush. I have been loving glowy blushes, so I'm just gonna pick a little bit up. It's not a very big pan, so like this brush is like, gotta get all the edges and the corners. Maybe that's too much. And I'm just gonna throw some of this on. I'd been so impressed with their Super Cheek cream formula that I wanted to try this one as well. So, oh, it's really pretty. Okay, I gotta blend. The 80s called, they want their blush back. This brings so much life to my face just on its own. It's so pretty. I rediscovered this highlight the other day. It's the Bar of Gold palette from Charlotte Tilbury. I really like this highlight, so I'm just going to throw a little bit of this, and I just run all over 3 shades. You know, I just kind of run my brush over all of them. I forgot that I had put in a little bit of Arch Fiber Gel from Hourglass in my brows, but I do feel like I need just a little bit more definition. So I'm using this brow stylist. This is their ultra fine tip shaping pencil, and I'm just going to throw a little bit of this like in the few gaps I still have. I'm going to be reaching back into this beautiful Barcelona palette from BH Cosmetics. I really enjoyed this when I got it in January, and I used it a little bit last month, but it kind of got forgotten, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to be pulling it out again today. I'm going to start with the neutral shade right here called Dulce. I'm going to put just a little bit of that in my crease. One of the habits that I've gotten into in the last year is to grocery shop for like a couple weeks at a time and to get as much fresh produce delivered to my door via a food service delivery. So we have subscribed to Imperfect Foods. Imperfect Foods is a company that is all about reducing overall food waste, which I like. And I've been getting, products that maybe there's a surplus of this one type of vegetable or fruit. Maybe it's slightly scarred and it wouldn't be supermarket perfect. Maybe it's too small or too large. Like I remember getting some onions that were like this, and I was like, I could see why they wouldn't want those at the grocery store. Those are huge, but it doesn't bother me. The other thing they have is when, maybe they change packaging, they'll have prepackaged products that are available for purchase. Maybe the coating on the back is off or the printing on the package is not absolutely perfect. They give them to Imperfect Foods, or they sell them to Imperfect Foods, who in turn turns around and sells them on their website. So every Friday I have an alarm that goes off on my phone reminding me to go and, put things in my cart, because I get a weekly box that arrives at my door. And we've discovered some really delicious like snack items that we like, which I need to stop with. So I get a lot of produce delivered straight to my door through Imperfect Foods, and then I can get other bulk things, like baking supplies or pasta and sauce, or like a lot of bread, and then I'll freeze it. The same with meat, we'll pull it out as we need it. So I can get things on sale and not have to go to the grocery store every week, which is great. But I just realized I just defrosted my last loaf of sandwich bread, so someone's gonna have to go to the grocery store this week. I'm gonna switch over to this shade called Carnation. Right here, it's a little kind of a terracotta-y warm shade. Since my kids are finally back in the classroom, they're having to take lunches, and they had been out of the habit of making a lunch, because normally in the evenings after we're done with dinner during a normal year, my kids would make the lunch for tomorrow. And sometimes they would take, leftover dinner. If there was chicken and rice, they would take that. If there was leftover gnocchi and broccoli, they would take that. If there, whatever there was for dinner, sometimes they just pack that up and reheat it at school and eat it. But the teachers have said we're trying to, reduce the amount of time, kids are waiting in line to heat their food or having to sanitize their microwaves between each person, send sandwiches instead. So we've been going through bread like crazy people. The other thing my kids have discovered is that they really like sourdough bread. For years, so I was raised eating whole wheat, high fiber bread. I remember going to my grandparents' house and loving it because they had Wonder Bread, and I loved white bread. But my mom, very health conscious, used to make a lot of her bread, and she would also get the whole wheat berry, grind it up to make her own flour, and then make the bread. That's the family I was raised in. So going to grandma and grandpa's house and having Wonder Bread was like a huge treat. So for many years, I just continued on with sometimes I make bread, but a lot of times I just buy whole wheat, high fiber bread, 100% whole wheat, sprouted wheat, seeds and nuts, whatever there is. And my kids have liked it, but one of the other things that we've done during the pandemic is, sourdough sounds good. What about a sourdough toasted sandwich? And so I've been getting all of these non-high fiber breads, and now my kids are like, where's the sourdough? Did we eat the last loaf of it? And I'm like, better choices, Mama, better choices. And then I'm going to use this peachy shade here called Familia. I'm going to put that on my lid. Ooh, that's pretty. I've been using the same brush. This is the Worker Pro from Sonia G. This is probably my fave brush ever. Love it so much. I'm going to go back to this terracotta shade here called Carnation and run a little bit of that on my lower lash line. And I'm going to use this lightest champagne shade here called Exquisite in the inner corner. I have been so in love with the M Cosmetics Illustrative liner. I ordered 2 more. It's kind of an expensive liner. It's normally $21. This is the one in brown. They had a duo on their website and they had a black and a brown together. And it's like, I would use both of those. I always have loved brown liner, but I really like the ease of this. I feel like it's such a good product. I'm going to throw on a combo of the Lancome Cils Booster XL and the Idole mascara, and I'll be right back. I just wiped off the last of the collagen lip oil, and I'm just going to throw on this Bff Pencil from ColourPop. But let's put on more of this. I really love this formula. I like that it's not heavy, it's not sticky. Thank you so much for watching today. I like the way this turned out, and I feel like I went a little warmer, a little more peachy on the eyes because of this blush. Now this blush, it is swatched right here. It is pretty, and it is kind of like a satin. There's a little bit of luminosity. Can you see the shimmer in this? There is a little bit of luminosity to it. I think it's really pretty. It's not a matte blush, but this shade in Fever Peach I think is really pretty, and it's a sort of tone I would reach for a lot. I have been liking a lot more kind of glowy blushes, and this fits the bill. I'm also in love with this, and I knew I would be because this one's almost gone, and I'm glad to have gotten another one of these. So I have been really impressed with a small handful of Beauty Pie makeup products that I feel are really good. This has become a daily, like so much so that I think I'm on the verge of, oh, you see that dark spot? Is that pan or what is that? Oh, it's not, it's pan. Good thing I ordered another one. I love this. This has been the product that has kind of replaced my Hourglass ambient lighting powder. Now they're not the same, they're different, but the fact that it's not too heavy, doesn't make my skin look too powdery, it does really well under the eyes. I wish that the reviews were better for the tinted version of this, but this has become a daily product for me, so much so I can't remember the last time I hit pan on a powder. It's been at least a year or more. It takes a lot for me to, and I've only had this since September, and that may be like forever for you, but when you have as many powders as I do, for me to actually hit pan, that's huge. I've been impressed with enough things that I keep going back to, well, let me try this, well, let me try that, let me get another one of these in a different shade. And I think that that bodes well overall. But I also got a lot of joy the other day out of wearing a purple eyeshadow. If you want to see that video, I will link it for you here. It's basically trying the 2021, bright eye trend where people are wearing bold colors on their eyes that you can see over the top of a mask. And that doing purple one day, a couple days later, I did a yellow look. Now this one that's definitely more peachy, apricot-y. I am liking color, and it's bringing me joy. So I'm definitely stepping outside of my, well, not too much. It's still a warm neutral, but it's definitely more color than I usually wear on my eyes, and I like that. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have a go-to formula that you like for eyeshadows or a favorite lip gloss. If there's one that you would recommend, let me know. Or there's something that has really been bringing you joy in your makeup process as you're getting ready. Once, twice, 7 days a week, however often you get ready, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being subscribed. Have an amazing day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.